Well, welcome to another episode of Community Storytelling Season 6, which I could not be doing without Linda Lester and Tyler Taylor of Successful Aging Solutions and Community Consulting. That's a mouthful, isn't it? I'm Lissa Kreisler, and I'm so glad you're with me because this may be our favorite interview ever, because who gets to talk to this good-looking man with Nix, with a gorgeous Labrador Retriever at my feet. This is a lab, right?
Combination lab and retriever, mostly lab.
And Nix just said, I'm bored already, and just sighed and went to sleep. Okay, well, I've got Bob Buxton with me, who I've been trying to get on for so long because you, like me, love Canine Companions. Tell me how you got involved with Canine. You know what? You better start at the beginning. What is Canine Companions?
Canine Companions is a national service dog organization headquartered in Santa Rosa. They're in all 50 states, and they provide trained graduate dogs to people in need.
Not laughing at you, but Nix is licking my ankle here.
No, that's okay.
And one of the largest, if not the largest, service dog organizations, I think.
Yes.
And if not the largest, it's on its way.
Yes.
So I love this story. 1975, started in Santa Rosa, and I hope I have this woman's name right. I think it's Bonnie Breger, and she was in Asia teaching school and saw that burros were in love with people and people were in love with burros, and they were the dogs. I mean, she said, if burros can do this in Asia, dogs can do this in America. And here we are with Nix at my feet.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how did you get involved with Canine Companions?
So when my mom was alive and living in San Diego, North County, San Diego, she was on the board of Canine Companions. And so that's how we got kind of introduced to Canine Companions. And then when she passed away and her service was at the Episcopal Church in Del Mar, there was a load of dogs, graduate dogs with people in wheelchair. And I'm going, this is so cool. So from that point on, I got very interested in Canine Companions. And then when I stopped working for a living, I got involved with them as a volunteer.
Because the big thing about Canine Companions is they do what people cannot. They can turn on a light. They can open a refrigerator. They can push a wheelchair. They can do almost everything. I mean, it's amazing what these dogs can do.
Well, they allow people to be out in society and do what they can do and be successful in whatever their endeavors are. And if you've ever been to a graduation in Santa Rosa, you do need to have a box of Kleenex close by. It's quite something.
Well, and I've seen so many, I have been with Canine Companions just as a spectator for years and years and years. They used to come into the radio station at K-Bay to see me early in the morning and to just give me some love for the day. And I am an ambassador for the JW House. And they actually are part of the JW House now. You know JW House, maybe you don't, but it's a home named after a young man named JW, and it's on the grounds of Kaiser and Santa Clara. And families who have loved ones in the hospital, they can stay overnight or whatever. And the dogs come from Canine Companions and just make everybody happy. Yeah. Just give everybody a little love.
That's so cool.
So tell me about the training of these dogs. I'd rather hear it from you than me talk.
So Canine Companions has breeders, and they breed Labradors and Golden
Retrievers, and sometimes they mix up, yeah.
Golden Retrievers are on the mellow side, Labs are on the wild side, and a good combination. And then when they're approximately 8 weeks old, they get placed with a puppy raiser. And that puppy raiser has that pup.
For how long?
18 months.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long.
18 months, and they go to weekly training for the pup, as Nix is. And then at 18 months, they matriculate to Santa Rosa for 6 months of intense training to hopefully become a graduate dog.
You got to get through college.
That's
so
college.
They're kind of in elementary school at someone's home,
right.
Then they advance to junior high, then they're in high school, and then they go to college. And Nix is not in college yet.
No.
And I don't know, have you ever raised one?
No, never raised a CCI dog, but we are dog people from the beginning of time. So we recently had corgis, And during the
For the
pandemic,
queen.
yeah, for the queen, they got older and needed to be put down. But so we're dog people.
And if I remember correctly, they only get to be service dogs for about 8 years, and then it's time to let them retire and just enjoy life a little bit.
Or what they call change of career dogs, which goes with that classification, and or those that might not graduate from Santa Rosa, and they can become facility dogs at
Sure.
911 centers. They can be in courtrooms. They can be with a child who's going to be testifying, and they take the edge off by sitting at their feet while they're in the witness stand.
Now, I know you have taken these dogs to some of the schools locally just to make the kids feel better, maybe during a nervous time.
So what we've done, and we did pre-pandemic just right after this session, that session was in between finals. Kids would come into the room and roll around on the floor with the pups and just relax and have fun, because the kids are under a lot of pressure, especially during finals. And then most recently, it was last month, I believe it was last month, we had a session at the noon hour on the lawn of the high school, and there was a dozen CCI dogs out there, graduate dogs, puppies, and the kids would come out, and they're just school.
Oh, I can't
There's
even
no pressure.
imagine.
There's no pressure for that half hour.
Now that we're having this talk, everybody's going to want to get on a list. So tell us some of the rules and what you need to do to actually get one of these great little guys or gals into your home.
You know, you would apply for it, the best of my knowledge, you would
Online.
apply for it. I think most things these days is online, but if you can get to know somebody at a local CCI chapter, that's the best, because everybody that I've ever worked with or dealt with are just super duper people. And that's where you can get a start. But you can go online, canine.org is the website, and you can get a whole lot of information off of that site, plus some real tear-jerking success stories.
And I may be totally wrong, but I think maybe 350 dogs get placed a year, something like that. I may be wrong. You're going to look it up. You're going to tell me I'm wrong. Something like that. Oh, you're going to look it up.
Well,
and you know what? We can't just have Nix lying here like a good dog. Give her a treat so she wakes
Nix,
up.
would you like to have a
Because she's
treat?
the star of this show.
Here you go.
She's
Come on.
this. Oh,
Come
look
on,
how
come on.
well behaved
Oh,
these dogs are.
thank you.
Nix, you are the sweetest. See, if I brought one of these into my home, I would not give it up. So I guess you must have to sign something saying, I am training this dog.
You know, that's an interesting point you bring up, because
Oh,
when you
Nix,
get-
that was a little thud.
when you get involved with this and you get to know puppy raisers and you go to the graduation and you go, how in the world are you able to let your dog go? Because my wife and I have talked about being a puppy raiser, and we're talking more and more about it now, but people say, you know, you're doing the very best thing
That's what I was
by
just going to
providing
say.
a dog to that person in need. So it's pretty cool.
I mean, it changes their life. It changes somebody's life in such a big way. As you said, it lets people who have disabilities get out there and just do what they want to do and have some freedom and have some help along the way and have the security of this wonderful animal taking care of them and looking after them. We've got to mention, that is one of the most special things about this. You don't pay for these dogs.
The people that receive a dog don't pay
That's,
a nickel.
isn't that amazing?
It's just amazing.
I mean, to
And
get
there's an
something like
estimate
this,
of what the cost is
Oh, I
for
can only
raising a dog
imagine.
for 2 years. It's
Yes.
astounding. But
Well, they eat a lot, you know, these labs. Not this little one, though. Nix is just, I mean, who behaves like this? You were going to tell me how many we place a year, just so people realize how special it is if you actually...
1,083 puppies currently being raised
Okay,
this year.
okay. But they're not all ready to go out in the wild.
No, teams graduated since founding in 1975. Do you have any idea how many?
I'm going to say 7,000.
You must have looked over my shoulder. 7,608.
I do my research.
You do.
But and there's also rules, just so people know, if you see one of these dogs with a special person, you don't just go up and start petting them. You don't do things like that.
No, and everybody should know proper dog etiquette.
Yeah,
whether
what
it's
is that? Share it.
Well, you would first ask the handler if it's okay to address your dog. And if it's a dog in training, they will generally put the dog in a situation where they can visit with that person. Like when we drove in today, there was a lady with a young gal with a spinal injury in a wheelchair in a van.
Oh my goodness.
And she stopped and we stopped, and it was a wonderful visit. So you recall Dog Fest in 2013.
Oh, yes. Vasona Park.
Vasona Park.
What year was that?
2013.
Oh my gosh.
It'll be 10 years this year, and it's at Jack
Thank
London
you for
Square.
dating me.
You were an MC and co-MC'd
Yes.
with Mike Wasserman, whom my wife got to help out with that event. And I borrowed a CCI dog and walked the business community in Los Gatos promoting the event. And walking up and down the sidewalk, and you have this gorgeous dog.
Yes.
And people would stop and
Yes.
say, so. And then there was one kind of sourpuss business, and this lady was behind her desk, and she says, can I help you? And I said, well, I have somebody here I want to introduce you to, because she couldn't see. And
Yes.
this dog's name was Phelps. He was like 14 months old male, and just an outstanding dog. And she came around from her desk, and she saw Phelps, and that was the end of that smile from ear to ear.
Nix hasn't even looked at me, and I'm grinning from ear to ear. We got to get Nix. Nix, you are the star of this show.
Hey, Nix.
I mean,
Want a
Bob's
treat?
been wonderful,
You want a
but
treat?
you are the star of the show.
Come on up
There
here.
we go. Come up here, sweetheart.
Hey,
Come on.
Nix.
But see, they're
Treat.
so well. They're
Here
so.
you go.
It says
Look at that.
future service dog.
You
Oh,
get your
Nix. I know. See, they don't misbehave at all. I have never seen one misbehave. They're so
No.
good. They are so sweet. You are. Can you want to look in the camera, honey? She says, honey, I'm no honey. What are you talking about here? I mean, oh my goodness. You want to sit?
You want to sit?
I don't know how we do this, but this is the best part of the interview, just watching Nix. Look at this sweetheart. Look at this sweetheart. So Canine Companions, you want to Google it, get a little more information, because I know now you're saying, I know somebody who really needs to sign up for Canine Companions. You're a special person when you get one of these dogs, because they are so special. Canine.org. I'm looking at Nix's little thing here. Canine.org. Thank you. I always say everybody has a story, and what a wonderful story this has been. And we all love Nix already, and somebody is going to be lucky to have Nix at home.
Absolutely.
So thank you again for being with us. If you've got a story to share, it's so easy to do. You go to KCAT.org, you look up community storytelling, you do the nominating, and you'll be sitting where Bob, and we won't put you on the floor like Nix. We'll let you have a chair. I'm Lissa Kreisler, and thank you so much for being with us today. Come walk with me through Leicester Square, where, as Mr. Rogers would always say, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and it's always a beautiful day in Leicester Square. We're located at the corner of Los Gatos Boulevard and Blossom Hill Road, and there is so much variety here in Leicester Square. I think you can probably find anything you need. Linda Lester, we thank you in Los Gatos for all you do, and we thank you for bringing us such a fabulous neighborhood shopping center. Successful Aging Solutions and Community Consulting, also known as SASCC, or as we like to say SASSY, has been serving the needs of the 55-plus population for over 40 years. They're the team that created The Ride Senior Transportation and gives us the Outlook Community newspaper. Learn more about their mission to make life better for all ages at www.sascc.org. And we thank Sassy for supporting KCAT TV 15.